Hey guys, good morning. Guess what? Today is my 45th birthday. And I'm pretty happy about where things are. I'm pretty happy about the way everything I've talked about on this channel has played out over the last 5 years. It's almost been 5 years since I started this channel. That is pretty crazy to me. Much has happened. But I wanted to make this video today because I have made a little decision, and it's a very challenging one for me. I think it's going to be very challenging. That is, for the next 365 days, for the entire 46th year of my life, I'm going to do the thing that I did last July, which is prioritize nothing over my state of mind. So, even if something emergent happens, even if something, seemingly earth-shattering happens, I am going to prioritize nothing over my state of mind. Or as Abraham Esther Hicks would say, riding the high-flying disc. Or as Robert Scheinfeld would say, busting loose. And I wanted to talk about busting loose because I'm going to do this. This is going to be my main focus. This is going to be my main process. Esther, Abraham Hicks, whatever, has a very simple technique for not allowing your mental state to just run rampant. And that is basically just stopping and listening to a neutral sound for 15 minutes. That will stop the momentum in the wrong direction. And for me, I found that really effective. Like, that works. If something's going crazy and you just stop and listen to a fan blowing, I think that's the one that they use the most often, you'll find that these engines, I think this is even the terminology that she uses, like the train engines that are pushing you towards a vibration you do not want to create anything from or attract anything from, those engines will die out when you deprive them of mental energy, of thought, all that stuff. It works really well. It worked really well for me last summer. And July last summer was one of the best months of my entire life. A lot of interesting things surfaced. I think that was when I ended up doing some microdoses and some mini, not so micro doses of some stuff that had some interesting experiences from that. I shared that on here too, I believe. I made some wackadoodle videos a little bit around that time. But the thing that was the most interesting and that also came out of that intention last July was that I stumbled on this book, Busting Loose from the Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld, which now I've got a couple of other friends that have read it and we've kind of been discussing it. And if you can get past, and you know what, it might be the perfect language for you. I guess I'm kind of a snob about certain things, and the way it's written offended my ego because it is so simple. It's like spirituality for a fifth grader, or really it's like A Course in Miracles for dummies. If you're A Course in Miracles practitioner, or you're interested in that or anything like that, I think that you'll find this book to be the ultimate dumbed down version of A Course in Miracles. The basic premise of A Course in Miracles is that only love is real, and everything else, like anything that's a form of love, is real. Anything else is false. It's an illusion. And it aims to remove those illusions from your perception by essentially demonstrating to you that you are assigning all of the meaning to everything that you perceive. And so anything that you perceive that is not love is something that you've created and that you can uncreate. And you do that by removing judgment from things. And so the Busting Loose from the Money Game book is sort of written as, rules to a game in a way. And there's a process that you do whenever you experience any kind of emotional swing, anything that causes an emotional reaction in you, large, small, whatever. You stop and recognize that that's something that you've empowered. You stop and recognize that you created whatever this thing is that you are having this emotional reaction to. And then you sort of go through a little process to intentionally remove the emotional energy and the judgment from that thing. I made a video about that not long ago, called the interruption process. Something in the title is about the intro. I'll see if I can find it and link to it. I'm really bad about actually doing this after I say I'll do it. So if you want to watch that video, it's recent and it has interruption in the title. But that's basically the process for removing the illusions from your life. And when you do this, last July, I stumbled on this book. Somebody mentioned it to me at the beginning of July last year. And I started doing this process religiously. Like, I was doing it at first probably 30 times a day at least. I remember specifically, I had a dream in which I remembered to do it. That was the craziest thing ever. In my dream, it was like a nightmare. And in my dream, I became aware of the nightmare situation, and I actually performed the process within the dream. When I woke up, I was like, wow, this is either amazing or I've gone nuts. But it was just incredible what it did for my state of mind. And the thing, I've said on this channel a billion times about manifesting, that the biggest part of manifesting, the biggest thing that happens for you in the manifesting process is the removal of things that are blocking your sight. Because you change your thinking, because you adopt a new state, because you envision a scene and get jazzed about it, or you start feeling, you start having this feeling about you all the time, that thing is going to happen, or you've experienced it. Just, there's a shift, and what that does for you is it shifts your perception. All these things tie together, all these spiritual practices and texts and all that crap, they are all different angles on the same thing. It's just like A Course in Miracles. It removes the illusion, and then you see the weight of the thing, or then you see that the thing is already there, or then you understand there was never any reason for me to think I wasn't going to get this thing that I want. There was never any reason for me to think I wasn't going to be fulfilled. That's the miracle of manifesting. It's the miracle of changing your state. It's simply perception shift. That's at the heart of all of this. A Course in Miracles defines a miracle as a shift in perception. And it truly is a miracle. You can be living the exact same life, exactly. And a shift in perception will take you from hell to heaven. I'm like losing my breath talking about it because it's that big of a deal. I think sometimes you hear people talking about this, it just doesn't land. You just can't connect to it. The idea of your fulfillment coming from a mental shift and not from an external material manifestation or shift is just really unpalatable for some people about some things at some times in their life. I get that, and that's okay. But it's important to hear this because, at a point in the future, these words will mean something to you at just the right time. And then you'll experientially understand, if you haven't already, what I'm saying. And it truly is a miracle. So anyway, the point I just wanted to make on this video for this upcoming year of my life, because I'm hoping that I'm going to want to make content. I made a bunch of videos recently, and then I just kind of like, Matt and I went out of town for like 3 or 4 days, and when I came back, I just had no desire. Like, I was socializing and doing stuff. I wasn't like, sitting by myself reading books and stuff like, like I normally do. And I just kind of like got out of the vibe of quietly and by myself in my car or whatever making a video for my YouTube channel. But I'm hoping that there's going to be enough coming out of this commitment that I'll want to talk more about it. I'm assuming there will be, because the last time I did this, it was crazy. So for the next 365 days, and maybe that'll be long enough to commit to it for life, who knows, my number one priority over getting stuff done at work, if that, you know, that's one thing where I often say nothing's more important than this, more than doing whatever it is that I would normally do to achieve objective goals that I want to achieve. Above that, I'm going to prioritize my mental state, and doing this process where if I have fallen off that high flying disc, you know, will suck all of the energy, doing the process that will suck all of the negative energy out of that and, you know, return me to the plane of creation, which is what I think that is. It's the place where you just have a little bit of an intention and it manifests. It's pretty crazy. It's just like the plane of all possibilities, the plane of pure potentiality, as Deepak calls it. The field of all possibilities, the place where you can create anything you want. And that is just the right vibe for creating that high-flying disc, where you have removed, at least temporarily, usually, all of the illusions of obstacles, all the experience of negative emotion, and you're in touch with right now, you know, the pure consciousness of the moment. And when you're in touch with that, there's nothing you can do but recognize that this is all an illusion. And from that state, pretty much anything is possible. So that's my intention for the next year. A year is a long commitment. This particular year is going to be trying because of the world of Caesar events that are continuing to transpire. I would not at all be surprised if lots of insane shit happens. Matt bought me some sapphires for my birthday this year, and he bought me these diamonds for Christmas 3 years ago, and now I'm back to sporting the two. I've got the double holes now. I was saying, like, what happened to everybody, like, with their 2, 3, 4 piercings in their ears? I miss seeing that. I've got a third hole too, so maybe I'll get some rubies, and then I'll be the red, white, and blue. Anyway, so have a great day, have a great year, and hopefully I will talk to you soon.